Hi Hinsters, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome too. My name is Hinny, I'm a spiritual astrologer, and you can get in touch with me for a reading or any inquiry with the details below in the description box. And happy Thursday Learn Day. Thursday is my favorite day of the week, did you know? And it is Sagittarius season right now as I record, and that's also my favorite season of the astrological year. If you didn't know, I am a Chiron rising, which is basically a Sagittarius rising. But anyway, today we are back on the streams of Creme Brulee and talking about Venus in Scorpio. So I have a few little notes and stuff here, but I'll try to get through this a bit quickly because I gotta go to bed and I'm just out of the shower again, so excusey doozies. But yeah, how are we doing? Leave me a comment in the description below. How is your year going so far astrologically? We are in the second season of the end of the year. So the last 6 seasons of the astrological year are the end, or working towards the end of the year, and kind of winding down, and it's the shadow half of the astrological year as well. This has a lot to do with the philosophies, if you like, of the light and the shadow and the alternations, and these are very important and very ancient things in which astrology, as we kind of look at it, is very much rooted. But anyway, Venus in Scorpio. Let's, I guess, talk about like the Debbie Downer stuff first, because we may know that Scorpio is the quote unquote detriment of Venus. By the way, check out my videos on Venus in Libra and also the Sun in Scorpio. So my Scorpio season video, which I did about a month ago. But here I get basically things like scorn, people being scornful, people with Venus in Scorpio being not so secretly gossiping, or it's kind of like thinking you have like code names or clever things to cover gossip or whatever up, but you don't really. It's detected, and it's nasty, and this is like doing something to deliberately hurt people. It's also stuff like having just bad, nasty, kind of desire-filled thoughts about people or things, which is not great because we don't want to attract the consequences of such energies that we put out there like that. But this is also stuff like stalking and intense Delulu vibes. Venus is the ruler, she's the goddess of the vibe, she is the vibe, and we get Delulu vibes, or obsessive, intense vibes and desires with Venus and Scorpio. We get also sometimes people destroying things and foundations out of a kind of righteousness, and this is because, or this is even more amplified by the opposition that Venus is making to Jupiter over in Taurus. And Jupiter is retrograde in Taurus, so please check out what I've been saying in my last few videos about this Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, and kind of the mud and the holding of this heavy piñata that we can't really lift and hang up right now, but there's still so much good stuff right there. It can just not feel that way for some people. But also we're in Sagittarius season, which can definitely feed into, for some people, like a kind of intense righteousness, which fuels such things as wanting to destroy or shoot or go on the offensive. Actually, a very long time ago on my channel, I talked about Sagittarius energy being quite involved in mass shootings and bombings that kill several people. And when we look at the astrology, so this is really, I'm getting now into like event astrology or mundane astrology here, but when we look at the times that these events occurred, an overwhelming number of them occur when Sagittarius is rising. Sagittarius has always been associated like before we even had computers, with shooting and the archer and the soldier, and it's a masculine, mutable or double bodied, which can go both ways, fire sign, and it's the last, or the penultimate, I should say, penultimate mutable season of the year, and the last mutable masculine season of the year. But anyway, this Venus in Scorpio transit can bring things like spite and wanting to spite people. This is stubbornly, Scorpio is a fixed sign, stubbornly desiring something that is kind of yesterday's news. That's also what I get. And especially as I talked about in my last video, beware of this, because we have very soon a Mercury retrograde coming up. So a lot of people who right now want to be jumping into something that's already yesterday's news, they will find out once the end of December, early January comes around, that it wasn't worth it. So I would advise, if you want to take advice, I would advise to not do that. If you can take some time, slow down and think about something that you might be jumping into, that we might be jumping into because of something we have not yet kind of wrapped up within ourselves or our experience, or something that just needs to be dealt with or recognized first before we basically repeat the same old shit. This is also stuff like making fun of people out of insecurity. So yeah, I mean, Scorpio energy can definitely do that, where we have these kind of grudges or deep-seated hates that Venus can really bring up and out of us in some boiling, fiery way. Venus being hotter than Mars, by the way, and very much having her own set of shadow sides that are seldom talked about, but she does, and she can. But yeah, kind of attacking people or making fun of people out of insecurity. Also, we have attracting people who covet like your skin in a way, or covet something secret that you have, and maybe have a secret skill, or you have something that they view as the secret ingredient to their own agenda or plan or whatever, or company. And this is stuff like them wanting to take from you and give you nothing, and kind of leave you like this empty shell or husk. And I would really advise to stay away from attracting this kind of thing, especially as we get towards Capricorn season, because Capricorn season is supposed to be where you are able to look at all of your achievements thus far and be proud of that accomplishment. But if right in Sagittarius season, this here season, you allow someone or something to kind of take it all away from you, that's not going to be, I would say, a very bright Capricorn season later. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when people like hunt and kill snakes for like potions and medicines, or crocodile skins and hides, like wanting to turn them into something fashionable. Beware of that kind of spirit, that kind of energy. And this is also overdoing stuff like the lust, promiscuity, and attracting, in some cases, like some nasty STD, or some kind of like weird, creepy feelings that we get after we have some intimate interaction with somebody. I'd be very attentive now to these like subtle things you pick up on, these prickly things you get, and to act on them in the sense of running away or swerving on them. Sagittarius season is a great season to swerve on someone or something, just like Gemini season is. And Venus, after all, is the attractor. She is just like the moon. She has this very attractive polar in dynamic about her. And here, this is like flies to flames. So again, it's about the attraction especially if you're a Scorpio rising, it's about the attraction and being very aware, conscious of what and who you are attracting, and like, do you want to basically be attracting these things or not? Um, Anyway, let's talk more generally about the tone of this particular Venus in Scorpio transit. So it's going to be roughly from December 5th to 29th of December. And we have, like I said, this opposition Venus is making to the retrograding Jupiter in Taurus. I'm going to talk a bit faster because my battery is going to die. But this is securing and cherishing and protecting our abundance in some sense. And we have the host of this Venus transit, Jupiter, Mars, Mars, under the beams of the sun and heading very soon towards a combustion with the sun. So I read this as like a last chance or an opportunity to deal with something in our Mars-ruled houses. So that's where we have Scorpio and Aries. So look to those two houses in your birth chart. And also Venus makes this trine to Saturn in Pisces. This is stuff like secrets to making your skin glow. This is stuff like eating more ginger, more earthy, kind of muddy foods and things that are great for your health and your skin. This is stuff like face mud masks, ginseng, garlic, kimchi, spiritually diving also into the depths of things, and kind of getting into the joyful wonders of our world, or getting back to the joyful wonders of our world and our life. And these things can so easily be unlocked right now and recovered and sort of summoned as well. And we have things like cleaning the skin, cleaning your toilet, your pipes, ventilating the spaces that you're in. And like this is also tending to soil and like watering plants, and also putting substantial efforts and energies into our Scorpio house. So wherever you have Scorpio, this trine that Venus is making to Saturn and Pisces can very much be like just wanting to do this big overhaul in our Scorpio house with the soil. Saturn is the ruler of origination and things like agriculture and soils and dirt. And so very often with this kind of trine, we could want to overhaul and just replace the soil and do things over in some sense. But it's kind of like at this point of the year, it's kind of like doing things over in some sense of we've already been knowing that this is what we needed to do. And Venus in Scorpio as well, this is like the vibe being listening, like spiders kind of listen with the hairs on their whole body, right? They have like thousands and thousands of hairs, which are used to sense the vibrations of the wind, the air. That's actually how they apparently judge the best spot to make a web. So it's like listening to the air around you in a sense. This is listening because there could be dangers, but also listening because there could be subtle signals to take action on things. Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Scorpio is the feminine expression, the kind of subversive expression of Mars. Also, let's get to the really good stuff then, that I think this Venus in Scorpio transit will bring many of us. This is a chance to revisit Scorpio season, basically. The sun, of course, is done in Scorpio and the sun's in Sagittarius, but Venus has just entered Scorpio. So it's like we're revisiting or redoing this season and our Scorpio house experiences. So it's through the eyes of Venus. This is stuff like more laughter, pleasure, value, adornment, aesthetics, a purification for some people. This is heightened industriousness as well. You know, Venus is like nice things, and Scorpio kind of allows for this relentless subconscious sort of desire that comes bubbling and boiling up. And this, like I said, it's kind of like spiders, but also like spidey sense becoming the vibe. And this is in Sagittarius season, right? So, and as Mercury is in Capricorn, so we get the perfect kind of setting to sit back and witness redemptions playing out in our lives. So this is like confirming to ourselves, like things like I knew this would happen, or I knew I was right about something, somebody. Also, this is a good time to maturely get over like a tit for tat type of dynamic if you've been in anything like that, and to return to who or what has always sort of proven whatever to be loyal or truly healthy for you. And also, this is like acknowledging and accepting truths that were always told for our well-being. This is, you know, people saying you need to eat more vegetables, or you need to I don't know, you need to reduce your alcohol or your smoking, or you need to stop being lazy, and let's just like finally giving in, succumbing to certain truths. And Venus also, by the way, is the ruler of those who are capable of receiving love. So oftentimes we do hear in modern astrology that Venus is simply love, which is an interesting thing. But also some of the other gods were associated with love, such as the Sun and Jupiter. But Venus was also, yes, associated with those who were capable of receiving love. And I find that very interesting as Venus enters Scorpio, because it can introduce, for some people, this stubborn dynamic of not wanting to receive something that is actually good for us, or not wanting to indulge in some self-care or self-love. And that can be kind of sad. I would look to, again, our Scorpio house and see where we might be to our detriment or self-sabotaging ourselves by refusing to just receive something that is benefic. Venus is a benefic, but in this way in which she reveals and rules those who are capable of receiving love, she is just going to kind of turn her cheek to those who are not capable. And it's like, it's no hard feelings. It's just kind of like, well, you know, do you? Also, I would say please listen to Björk. This is my regular Scorpio vibe recommendation, music-wise. So Björk, the Icelandic Scorpio powerhouse. Listen to some of her music. This is stuff like, oh my God. This is stuff like warmly holding secrets close to our heart and mind, exchanging the sacred and the special things with other people. And this is doing so with whom it feels right and when it feels right. Can I quickly say this before my computer dies? Yes. So personally, you know, for me, in this very Jupiterian way, you know, it's Thursday Learn Day. It's like learning about what foods or drinks or patterns help and harm you, and like listening to your body. Venus rules temples and clean spaces and purification, in that sense of cleaning your space, and your body is a temple as well. So like skin, and realizing what changes when you just get back to good or healthy routines. Venus actually is the ruler of routines and circles and cycles and perfections. And for me, it's like, as soon as I get back to eating like small fish and like fermented foods and eggs, I just glow more, and my concentration and my memory is so much better. But anyway, enough of that, enough of this. Let me take my leave before my computer dies, and I shall see you in the next video, which hopefully will be the new moon in Sagittarius, maybe? Or did I make a video already on that? I think I did. Anyway, ignore me. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.